Okay, wait. Okay.
And we are
Talmage,
live.
we are live. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Talmage, man, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I am doing awesome. I was really excited to connect with you because, you've been around before the beginning. And, I literally became an insider back in, I think like June. I missed the month with the shaker bottles. So whatever month that was, I was like the month after. And I waited all the way to December until we got the shaker bottles as the insider thing.
Uh-huh.
So I was like way excited. I'm drinking my official South Beach. I guess you can't really see it. There you go. Well, nah, you can't see it. Anyway, and wearing my promo shirts.
I had to bust out the voodoo for this.
Oh man, I can't decide what I love better. I love the voodoo. I love the Apollo. I mean, there's like the mango. Love the mango one. I mean, I just can't decide. In all honesty, South Beach is not my favorite, not my hated. I don't think I have a hated one by any stretch of imagination. But you know what? You and me, we live in Florida. To me, when people ask, "What does South Beach taste like?" Oh, dude, it tastes like Florida.
Yeah, it really is. I think Lou nailed it on that. Lou's a wizard when it comes to the flavors. Apollo is up there for me. I always loved the Rocket Pops as a kid. And it's funny, in the Apollo, I think he even managed to get a little bit of the popsicle stick, a little bit of that wood flavor in there too, just there in the back. But
You
I
know,
think for like a daily drinker, I think voodoo is probably the easiest for me to go to.
yeah, I love the voodoo. Love the voodoo. The strawberry colada. You know, it's and the new flavors. I don't know if we can talk about that officially yet, but the new flavors are pretty good too.
Yeah. If you're in the ambassador group, they're awesome. Yeah, join
Yeah,
us over here in Insiders. And if you're in Insiders, you already know.
yeah. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. And I'm sure that's the official thing. Well, you know what? I'm glad you joined us. I've been having the top ambassadors join in, and to have somebody from Rep Sports, I'm excited about, and helping the customer service guru. Whenever I'm in the insider group or in the rebellion group, I see you're active, man. You're like 24/7. We just talked about this earlier. Do you ever stop working?
Well, I'm in front of my computer a lot, and it's funny with the Facebook groups. Even when you're not working, you'll be working because it's going to pop up on your feed. But I love it, man. I'm always happy to engage with people, help them out. I think it's really great that we moved away from just email type support because it's a little more impersonal. You don't get to really see the person you're talking to, and I think it can get lost easily that there are real people on the other end of that line trying to help you. It kind of feels like a robotic interaction. And we just kind of want to grow that connection with the community. But I'm always in there. And when I'm not, I'll see it soon. So drop me a tag, drop me a link, anything like that. And I'm always happy to help.
That's awesome, because you know what? You're right. In the last 10 years, everything is automated, and I'm getting tired of pressing zero. I want a real person.
Yeah, right.
So this feels good.
Thibodeau.
I feel love. I feel love, and that's part of it. I think the next step is for us to go back and for us to hear real human voices. And I had an issue myself a couple months back, and you helped me out, and I was like, wow, this company cares, and that makes me feel good. It makes me connected. So
Yeah,
not
that's the
just as
other
an
thing.
insider.
It's not just like, hey, we want to make we want to make you feel good, obviously, that you're getting like this personalized service, but it's awesome for us. And this is something that we really value about the insider group itself, that we do want to hear from our customers. You guys are the reason for the success for the business, and a lot of great ideas and new directions that we want to go to come directly from our customers and from insiders. So it's like a super invaluable channel for us to be able to directly engage with people.
That's awesome. Now I gotta ask you. Every superhero has his origin story. So I gotta ask you, how long have you been with RAZE? Tell me your origin story.
All right, so this is a funny one because it's not really alluded to in any of the groups, but I've actually been working with Chris since the beginning, since his very first business. I was the first employee under Chris, and this goes way back to like 2009, 2010, when I was getting out of high school. The story of RAZE Energy is crazy. It's really like the quintessential American, build something from nothing, pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of company. When I first started working for Chris, it was just doing data entry on a website. He used to wholesale supplements. So I guess similar to a GNC where you just carry other people's products. And I was helping update listings on the websites for, creatine, protein, and we would just sell other people's products. And this was out of Chris's college apartment in the spare bedroom in his apartment. And all the stock for the business was in like a broom closet. And he had these goofy, like homemade shelves up behind the computers where we would keep, commonly accessed stock. And I would upload products. I would answer emails. I would even pack the boxes with him. Me and Chris used to sit there and pack boxes in his college apartment. So that grew from, we used to sell, and I say we just because I was there, but Chris is the heart and soul behind the company. I mean, he's really grown it from the ground up himself. But we used to sell products on eBay before Amazon was a thing. eBay was where you would go to get your cheap supplements. So we were out there creating eBay listings and just trying to climb up the ranking listing for the eBay. If you've ever sold on eBay, I'm sure you're familiar with that grind where you get one negative feedback and all of a sudden you're not on the first page anymore and your entire business is in jeopardy. So I started, fresh out of high school way back in the day. And then I actually built one of the first websites for the company at that time was called Advanced One Nutrition. And I built one of the first websites for that. And then, Chris being the entrepreneur that he is somewhere along the line was like, hey, why are we selling other people's stuff? We can make our own stuff. And that's where NutriKey came from. And then from NutriKey, which is kind of a, sorry, 1 second. My dog's chewing on something he shouldn't be. Thibodeau. Hey, come on.
This is live, ladies and gentlemen. This is real.
Get inside. All right. Put him out of the danger zone. All right. Anyway, back to it. And then NutriKey is a little bit of a not holistic in the sense of like all natural, because of course it's like creatine and stuff like that, but kind of a for everybody type of branding. And then from there came Repp Sports, which is a little bit more for to use colloquially the meatheads, a little bit more of a sports supplements and high performance kind of brand. And then from Repp came RAZE. So this entire RAZE energy, this entire company, this craze, this stuff that's actually, and it's the coolest thing for me seeing it from the beginning, seeing these products on shelves and, come and go and 7-Eleven and stuff like that, started from a guy out of his college apartment selling supplements on eBay. It's really an incredible story.
That's awesome. So what, you guys were fellow Gators?
So Chris was going to a college here in Daytona, Embry-Riddle. He was actually friends with my older brother. And he's like, hey man, do you seem tech savvy or whatever? I need people to help me out, work for me. And I was like, yeah, sure. I'd love to do that. This was really one of the first things I did for money out of high school. And, I just turned my natural inclination of being a geek into a way to make some money, whether it be data entry to like building a website, which, back in 2010, websites were a different animal. They're much more simple. Nowadays, building a website from your house, you really got to be an expert. So I would never bill myself as something like that. But in the beginning, it was just kind of a link up through mutual acquaintances, being my brother and Chris. And from there, it just grew. And I've been in so many different roles throughout it. Like I said, I've done everything from data entry to shipping to product copy to customer service to you name it. It's always just been what can I do to help?
That is awesome. This is like, this is why I always imagined the American dream. You start out from your college dorm or in your garage. This amazing story. So
yeah, it really is. And a lot of people I see it and I love the high expectations for the company and the group. But you got to understand that some of these people we're competing with, like Monster, for instance, have hundreds of millions of dollars of capital and venture capital funding, stuff like that. Chris started this business, you know, with a shoestring budget from nothing, and it's become what it is today. There's no outside funding. There's no private funders behind the scene. It's really like you said, a true American success story from the garage to where it is now. And I only hope that it continues to grow.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's like the people's energy drink, you know?
It
Like,
really is, and that's what I love about the insiders. Going right back to it, because it's always been that way. Just kind of from the ground up, real grassroots. Engage with the people that we sell to, and now that the insiders are quite literally guiding the future of the brand with creating new flavors and stuff like that. It's awesome. It's kind of beyond what I ever thought it would be when I first started working for Chris, obviously.
yeah. Now, you know, on that note, I'm going to ask you, and I'm already insider anyway. Like I said, I started, I think, around June or July. No, why should I be an insider? If I'm just some new person who just stepped in, I'm on my Facebook, I see this thing about RAZE energy drink. Why would I want to be an insider?
Yeah, well, I think it comes down to different reasons for different people. I know for a lot of people, and myself included in this group, that the bottom line is the pricing and the discounts and stuff kind of drive where my purchases go. That's just the type of guy I am. Why get it from here if I can get it from there cheaper? So if you already buy RAZE Energy or any of our Repp Sports products, it's kind of a no-brainer. The $19.99 a month pays for itself easily in one purchase, between the free shipping, the 30% off. And then if you are, if you like the community, if you like the product, I'm not aware of any other, quote unquote insider thing, because other companies have what they call insider programs, but I'm not aware of any other program where you are, like I said, quite literally, and you're drinking it right now, forming the future products that we're putting out. I mean, you guys voted on what was, I think, 6 different flavors over the past year. The winner came out on top, and then we kind of went to the Instagram and let more of the general population kind of duke it out on the design and whatever. But if you want to be more involved, if you want to see what's going on behind the scenes, if you just have a casual interest in it, or if you even want to, be the guy that's saying, hey, we should do this. There's been a ton of examples from the insider program, whether it be the flavor of RAZE Energy, the flavors coming out, such as the Voodoo becoming a powdered flavor, was originally dropped in the insider group. And it's not like these things have never occurred to us, but the fact that we're hearing, directly from the source, hey, this is what we want, and that we can turn around and do it. Like I said, I'm not aware of any other company or any other program. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'd love to check them out, doing something with that level of direct involvement with the customers. And it's I mean, at $19.99 a month, it's not a big ticket for entry. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and you didn't even talk about the swag.
Oh yeah, I
The
mean,
swag got me sucked in. I'm not gonna lie, it got me sucked in.
I'm also that. I'm a sucker for a free T-shirt, and if it's an exclusive T-shirt, I'm double in. So there's just a ton in the insider program that you're not going to get anywhere else. And like I said, if you buy any product, it pays for itself. And if you're even more than casually interested in the company itself, it offers this level of access and engagement that you're not going to find anywhere else. And I think that a lot of insiders can kind of attest to the fact that it's not just in name. Like we really do scour the group and listen to people. The monthly surveys are integrated into the next iteration of the product, which goes out to you a lot of times the very next month, where you then continue to help us make decisions. And I see a lot of people talk about, oh, we're just beta testers for products. And while I can understand that, it's more than that. You are, in a sense, kind of like a product consultant. And obviously we can't have a 30-minute discussion with all 2,000 members one-on-one, but everybody's voices is heard and taken into consideration when we're making these things. And I don't want to give anything away, but there are some new things coming to the insider program. This was teased in one of the videos that it's about to become a whole nother level of the amount of influence that insiders have on products in how they come out and when they come out and what's going to happen with RAZE Energy. So better things are coming too.
I gotta throw it out while you're talking about the new product. That peanut butter cup protein powder, that is
Mm.
fire. That
Mwah.
is so incredible. I ever since I got that, I was rationing out my samples.
Yeah.
And now that it's out, I'm in.
I knew it was a hit when we had people going to the group to barter for other people's samples, like offering up their firstborn for you got a couple of packs, I'll send you whatever you want. So yeah, no, the first time I tasted that, again, Lou is a wizard on the formulas. Not everything is a winner, but that one, I think he crushed it. And it's not it's a hard flavor to mess up, but I think he did it as about as best as you can do.
Oh yeah, that is fire. I mean, my new addiction now is that the chocolate protein powder and the peanut butter cup protein powders now. So
Yeah, I love it.
If I'm not downing the pre-workouts, then I am doing the protein drinks definitely. So
you're killing Broken Arrow.
Yeah, love it. It's
No?
good. I don't do the hyper sleep because I typically
No?
I never have a problem sleeping. I can fall asleep in the middle of a Metallica concert standing.
Oh man, I'm the opposite. So Hypersleep is actually one of my favorite products we make. I think it's awesome, and even if you're not like a big fitness buff or you're not hitting the gym every day, people don't realize the everything that good sleep does for you on a daily basis. And so that's actually one of my favorite products. Broken Arrow, I'm going to be honest, is a little too much for me sometimes. It's kind of crazy to me, the amount of people that just kill Broken Arrow, just for me personally, because full packet has got me on the edge. I can't do it.
I got the Broken Arrow for my workout, and afterwards I'll pop out 2 Focus.
Oh well. Man, you're like in the
I'm
Matrix.
Lit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I smell colors. Okay, I'm telling you.
See sounds. Yeah.
So I have to ask, what you're in the back end. You see everything from the inside. What do you think is like the 3 common denominators on the top ambassadors? What do you see? What do you see traits? What do you see? What do you see trends on the top ambassadors?
So I would say number 1 is just persistence, man. There are a lot of people that I see come into the group and they're very hyped on the opportunity to promote this product and make money. And they got these dreams of having a little bit of a side income set up. And these people come in, they're not lacking enthusiasm, but then they post again in 2 or 3 weeks and they're like, hey, I've been promoting this on my stream, or I've been telling people about it, and it's just not seeming to catch on. Like, what can I do? And it's very easy to get discouraged. I can see that. But the top thing that I see from people that ultimately turn it into something and succeed, and your level of success can vary depending on your goals. Like, not everybody can do what Tyler Worth has done and build a distribution business. He really had to go all in on that to make that a reality. But it's just the persistence, man. If at first you don't succeed, you got to try again, try something new. Maybe the way that you're presenting it wasn't the best to whoever you're presenting it to, whatever audience you're in. Maybe the offer is a little off or whatever it is, but just having that persistence, whether you're talking to people in person or you're doing it mainly online, I see as the number 1 key to somebody that goes from being that enthusiastic new guy to the guy that's like, hey, I just got my first sale. I just got my 10th sale. This is killing it. So beyond all others, I would say that. And I think if you've ever interacted with a sales team, like if you've ever talked to your company's sales team, you go in there and they're just a different breed, man. Sales guys, they're always on, and they don't take no for an answer. And maybe not in a pushy or a douchey way, but they just have what it takes to still be there and serve whatever need their customer has. So I would say persistence, number 1. Number 2, this may be getting a little technical, but like nothing sells better than knowing the product. I think product knowledge is key, especially in a RAZE energy, where I see a common question is a lot of people ask, like, how's it different from Bang? How's it different from Monster? How's it different from Red Bull? And there are a ton of differences. I mean, just look at the formula. So knowing your product and being able to point to things like alpha GPC and tyrosine and the focus blend and some of the stuff that's in there can help kind of seal the deal beyond it just tastes better, which often sells it itself. So I think product knowledge as well. I'm kind of hard pressed for a number 3, because I think if you have persistence being the absolute key factor and a little bit of knowledge, I think anybody can become a successful ambassador. You just got to be willing to put a little bit of the work in.
It sounds like the third one would be enthusiasm. You mentioned that as well.
Definitely. I think that goes along with the persistence, because I mean, if you're not enthusiastic, but you're persistent, that's just being a weirdo. But yeah, enthusiasm, because another thing is what always baffles me is when I see people post that are asking about the product or have never tried it before. Why would you represent a product that you haven't tried, that you're not enthusiastic about yourself? Of course, we're going to give you the opportunity to do that as an ambassador, but to me, it never really made any sense. So actually liking something that you're promoting, being enthusiastic about it, that genuineness is what sells more than anything to somebody, that like, hey, I drink this every day. I love it. Give it a try. For a lot of things, that's going to get you in the door with a lot of people.
Okay. Now, what do you see as the challenges for an ambassador on the back end? Because I see a lot of questions about, well, how do I get paid? Or you see a lot of shipping challenges. What's your perspective on that?
Yeah, so this is actually our, if not one of the top priorities for us right now, is getting this payment thing figured out, because that's the name of the game. You guys signed up with the agreement in mind that, hey, I was going to get paid for my work. And so it's very frustrating and very discouraging to maybe see $20 sitting locked up that you seemingly can't access. And this really happened because Reversion, which is the software that we use to track commission in our affiliates, originally only integrated with PayPal as a way to do direct payouts. As an alternative, they say you can send them a personal check, which that doesn't work for the scale that we're trying to do. It's a little silly that they even suggest that, in my opinion. But yeah. Anyway, so they only had PayPal as their payment integration for the longest time. And what that was is you needed a business PayPal account. And then on top of that, you had to apply with PayPal for something called mass payouts, which is basically just access to one of their APIs that allows you to essentially upload a spreadsheet and pay out everybody at once. So that takes this process, which we're currently having to do now for manual commissions, where you have to go one by one, look at the ambassador, look at his sales. Do these have any returns? Do these have any chargebacks? Are they insider purchases that somehow slip through or whatever? You have to approve those, and then you have to, manually go to PayPal and send this person money one by one. When there's thousands of ambassadors, that's a very tedious process. So we had that humming for a little bit. It was working without a hitch, and then PayPal one day hit us up and said that our products did not meet their terms of service, which was baffling to us because we're not a gray market company. There's plenty of sketchy supplement companies out there that rely on these, like pro hormones and these ingredients that could be construed as illegal or are straight up, trying to sell, sex pills are a big thing that terms of service hate. And we're not anything like that. So we tried going back and forth with them, appealing with them, trying to say like, hey, which product do you think is like this? How can we basically clarify with you that we are within your terms of service? Because there's plenty of companies like this on the market, and we're not much different in terms of what we're offering. And if you've ever worked with PayPal, they are notoriously secretive with their enforcement actions, and they're very difficult to actually speak to a real person and kind of work on your case. So this was like a 6-month saga where we were trying to break through this bureaucratic wall of silence with them to get our account back on, because with reversion, that was the only efficient way to pay people out. Ultimately, it didn't work out. That PayPal account is still locked, and we cannot receive or send any money from that. But luckily, recently, Reversion added support for a new payment method that will allow us to do direct, basically straight to your bank account payments. So we don't have to rely on a PayPal or a third-party service or anything like that. So we're in the talks to get that plugged into Reversion, but you got to go through all the steps that you have to do when you open a merchant account. So we got to, supply all the tax information and business history, and just jump through these hoops to get on this bank's roster, essentially, to be able to do that. So I know I see this question a lot. I totally understand it. I totally understand people's frustration, and it is our top priority to get these payments re-enabled. So it can go back to being a smooth, every 30 days, you're over the $15 minimum threshold. We just hit a button, you receive your money. Whereas right now, I'm having to manually review people's payments and then manually send them a payment from a wink, wink secret PayPal account that we have that they don't know is connected to Repp Sports, which I'm not sure if I should put that out there. Please don't snitch on us to PayPal, or else you're not going to get your payout. But that's kind of what we're dealing with right now until we can get another real solution in there. So again, we take all of that frustration and feedback on the chin. We know that it is not ideal for our ambassadors, but it's going to get fixed, and it's going to get right back to where it needs to be, where you make that sale, you get that money, and that only continues to kind of feed into your momentum and encouragement. Because I know that there are people that are like, hey, I got sales like 2 months ago and I never got the money. What's the deal? And that can just be a killer on that enthusiasm we talked about. So that was a big challenge, and according to the bank we're working with, another 5 to 10 business days is the last I heard from them. We should have this entire application that they want completed, so we can get that plugged back in. So that should be a thing of the past very soon. The other thing you mentioned was shipping, and this is a whole nother nightmare scenario. That's a little harsh. It's not a nightmare scenario, but it is complicated. To have these systems, we've gone through in the past 6 months, I think 3 different shipping platforms to try and unify our wholesale channels, our direct consumer, our e-commerce channels, and then our channels that we have with Europa, which is our supplement distributor, that unifies our stock, our shipment tracking, plugs in with our manufacturing software. So we know basically these projections, these timetables for restocking. So there's a lot going in on the back end. I know that people that have a business are like, hey, I'm able to ship things out the same day. What's the deal? There's a little more going on behind the scenes that maybe the typical person doesn't know about. But again, that's something that we hope is a thing of the past very soon. The new software that we're in works with our wholesale channel, so we can have stock more accurate. We can get shipping more streamlined, so we can take some of the worries off of our shipping staff of tracking down, where's this order from? Do we have the stock for it? Do I need to reach out to make some changes or whatever, so that they can just focus on getting the product out the door. So this was something that was really a growing pain from the company, just experiencing this growth in such a short amount of time last year. I don't have the exact numbers, but it was a huge increase in where RAZE was carried, especially in storefront locations. And with that just comes all these logistic difficulties that you have to figure out and make sure work with the systems you already have in place. And if they don't, you have to put an entire new system in place. And with that comes retraining all your employees, setting up new processes, stuff like that. So the simplest way to put it is it's just growing pains. But again, it's something that we're focused on improving every day. And I think with our latest iteration of the shipping software, I think we're in a good spot to get it back down to, as Robin has talked about a few times, back down to same day or 2-day processing time. And then once it's out the door, this is another complaint I see. you know, it's frustrating for us just as much as it is for the customer to see a product that we shipped out 10 days ago still not at the location that it needs to be. Unfortunately, we don't have any control over that, aside from maybe raising the price on customers for shipping costs so we can go with, say, FedEx Priority or some more costly shipping method, which we don't want to do. But ultimately, if customers want to pay for that, that's something that we can offer. But again, that just is another thing that needs to be integrated into the shipping pipeline of software down to personnel to make sure that it runs smoothly. So it is, it's a lot going on behind the scenes, and a lot of these processes and systems are just being built within the past 8 months. This business was really built on wholesale and selling to other companies, which the fulfillment process behind the scene looks totally different for that. You're shipping out maybe pallets at a time and not, you know, individual boxes of 4 cans each. So,
all right, Talmage, I got less than a minute before we get cut off. You know what? Thank you for all this information. You know what? I'm really glad you addressed the shipping and the money thing. As an ambassador, an insider, you see that a lot on the Facebook, and a lot of it's just a misunderstanding. As I said, we have less than a minute. I just want to thank you for your time. And before we get cut off, your 10-second response. What can I do as an ambassador or as an insider to help you out, could help RAZE out? 10 seconds.
Just hit us up, man. Let us know what's on your mind. You know, no question is stupid. No thing is too small. We want to hear from you, whether that's a frustration or whether that's something that you want to see integrated into the company. So we want to hear from you. That's basically the biggest thing that I can say is that anything that's on your mind, drop it in the group, send us an email. And we want to make this the best that it can be for all our insiders and all our ambassadors.
Awesome. Talmage, thank you for your time.